a break during your gaming session? Take an ice-cold Coke break. So you can get back in the zone. Pause, refresh, keep playing with Coke. Click or tap to find out more.
This episode is brought to you by the Toyota Tundra TRD Pro, the new definition of grit. Grit is more than just mud and dirt and rocks. For the Tundra TRD Pro, grit is unrelenting torque courtesy of an iForce Max hybrid powertrain and the ability to connect with your world through the impressive 14-inch touchscreen. Grit is total confidence to tow just about anything, anywhere.
Your flight arrived on time. Your luggage is late. Perfect. Time for a little moment of fun with Scratch and Win from Atlantic Lottery. Crossword, bingo, set for life. With Scratch and Win, fun is wherever you are. Must be 19 or over.
Age of Radio.
All right. I love this idea. It's bloody brilliant.
I'm glad that you're on board with this, Russell. Why are you doing that Cockney accent? You're supposed to be American in this.
I'm in character for another film. Don't worry about it. My accent's going to change 1,000,000 times throughout this interview. I can't control it. It's just the Russell Crowe school of acting.
All right. So yeah, great, excellent. All right. Well, now remember, you're Tom Cooper, and your wife has left.
No. I'm Russell Crowe. Sorry, you must be confused.
No. Yes, you are Russell Crowe, but you are playing Tom Cooper, whose wife has left him. He's a family annihilator, and he goes on a killing spree.
In what? What movie was that?
No. It's in this movie that we're making, in Unhinged. That's
right, the one where you get in the camera and you follow me around. Right.
Russell, this is not a documentary.
No, it's true. No, it's true. I was looking through the script here, and there's clearly moments that you just followed me and wrote it down, like the time. I burned down a house and murdered a family. That was like last week. I mean, it wasn't. No, I never did that.
Okay, well, we're. I'll tell you what, we're gonna talk with legal about that. But you know what? But while that's all getting squared away, we're gonna get y'all set up for this next scene where you actually you're in a pancake house and you stab this guy with a butter knife.
Hold on, you don't need to. Don't set it up. This should be like reality TV, because I watch reality TV. It's so fake. You can tell they're all setups. I want this to be genuine and pure. I want you to follow me right. If you want me to stab someone in the head with a butter knife, I've done it. It's got a name. It's called giving someone the old Russell Crowe. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He's not a maitre d'. He's playing a lawyer, and again, you're Tom Cooper. This is a fictional movie. It's like Virtuosity and Gladiator, those other movies that you were in and play characters.
Right, the time I time traveled and the time I was a fucking robot.
Okay.
I don't remember which one was which, but they were both fun.
Okay, well, first of all, there was no time traveling in Gladiator.
I don't recall that.
You weren't a robot in Virtuosity. You were a computer program in a synthetic body. So, I mean, again, fictional characters, just like the one you're going to be playing in Unhinged.
Oh, excuse me, nerd alert, but I believe those were genuine things I did. Now, hold on. Are you calling me a liar?
No, Russell, I'm not saying you're a liar. I'm just maybe a little misinformed or confused. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's it.
Ow!
Hey guys, are we filming this? Is someone filming this? Oh, this is good.
I'm gonna Russell Crowe you.
Close up.
You know when I pick a movie, that's when I'm under pressure now. The question always comes back to me, what were they thinking now? Whoa, what were they thinking? What were they thinking?
Welcome to a podcast. I'm Brendan, and this is the podcast called What Were They Thinking? We talk about bad to questionable movies, and boy, have we got an interesting one for you this week. Joining me, of course, is the, big truck to my Russell Crowe.
Okay.
Nathan.
All right. Well, thanks for calling me Big Truck, I guess. How y'all doing?
I mean, he didn't have a partner in this movie. I could call you the ex-wife to my Russell Crowe, but that would mean I murdered you.
I mean, they could be adversaries because there have been very combative episodes. I mean, if we can think of that first Medea episode, that was very combative, and I enjoyed every bit of it.
Did you want me to call you the not Linda Cardellini to my Russell Crowe? Like,
that's kind of a compliment, actually.
Oh, Nathan, here we are podcasting about a recent movie, one out of 2020 called Unhinged.
I'm surprised this one didn't make a recently regrettable that year.
I'm trying to think of what we even did for 2020. It must have been a pretty bad year. But this is a road
Fantasy
rage.
Island was involved.
Yeah, I don't remember if that was 2020 or I don't know. Well, that's a long time ago. My memory automatically wipes after 1 week.
That was in the before time, and long ago.
Yeah, that was the early days of COVID. We didn't know what was going on.
I have a hard time remembering too for some reason.
I'll wait till you're done doing that.
There's just some reason I have a hard time remembering stuff. Let's put that gin over here. And I'm not sure what it is, really. It's probably, it's probably just getting old and stuff. It has nothing to do with... Let's pour this nicely. Ooh, yes, indeed.
And joining us to help us break down this movie about this Russell road rage, is Russell Crowe fan club member, president, and... he's paid to fart. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, Galen Howard.
Hello. Welcome to me.
Oh wow. Oh, you're just taking over. Okay, cool.
I just thought I would welcome myself into the show.
I thought you were welcoming our listeners to you.
Yeah.
You can. I mean that too. I mean,
like,
not unlike the time Magneto welcomed the X-Men to die in the video game.
Sure, of course. That's welcome. Hi.
Welcome, bienvenue, welcome.
Yep, those are lyrics from a song. That's from a thing. Very good.
Wow, Galen is on fire. Galen, you kind of semi-requested this one.
I did. I did.
So tell us why Unhinged?
Well, this is it's a funny turn of events because I actually I first watched this film last year while recovering from symptoms from the COVID vaccine, so I saw that film and it made perfect sense to me then when I was in bed delirious from COVID symptoms, and so now a few days ago, I got the actual COVID, and so have seen this film twice, both while suffering from COVID symptoms. And I can say from that vantage point, this film holds up.
Now you almost don't want to watch it again when you don't have COVID, right? Because it might be a totally different movie.
It's become my COVID. It's my COVID movie now.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unvaxxed.
Unvaxxed. I thought that would have been 2025.
Right.
The movie Nathan had to watch and never got to talk about.
Oh yeah, that was one of them. Yes. Yeah. You spared me that one. I got to watch Jumper.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Did I spare you?
I comparatively, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I would say comparatively you were spared.
That's fair. Yeah. But nobody is spared tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because we all watched Unhinged, Russell Crowe, and
get on board. Yeah.
Really, the only other people I want to, I mean, maybe you guys know more than me, but the only people I really want to point out here is Jimmi Simpson is in this movie, one of the McPoyles from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Been in everything. That guy, I salute him. He's stolen parts from me, and I love him.
The cat who
You
plays
know,
the lawyer.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I know him from Breakout Kings.
yeah, no, yeah, he's a fantastic actor.
And Caren Pistorius as Rachel, who I just noted reminded me, like I said earlier, a lot of Linda Cardellini.
She's got those vibes. She's got the Linda Cardellini vibes. Yeah, she's like she's a Cardo in training.
Train to Cardo.
Train to card. Yeah.
Train to card.
You're doing cardio is what you're doing when you're doing that.
Well, yeah, but if you're gonna keep up with the Cardo, with the Cardellini,
You got to do cardio.
Yeah, that's not Tortellini. But
How has she not done an exercise tape called Cardio with Cardellini yet?
right?
I think there's an amount of dignity in her soul.
But the name is funny though.
Yeah. Or have have a pasta invented called Cardellini.
I think it's the money.
Cardellini with clams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gracious.
Cardellini with clams.
I'm gonna walk away from that one. All right.
See you later.
All right.
I
Unhinged.
subtitled this movie "Any Day in Florida."
Yeah.
You could call this Florida Man. I mean, this is.
Where does this take place? Did anyone catch it? Is it LA? Is it meant to be LA?
I think it's California.
Is it?
California.
I thought it
But
was.
it's like, well, I mean, both he and like one of the cops have Southern accents.
But it's, I mean, again, the whole that in regards to that, I mean that accent is not necessarily always Southern. I mean, you can just get some rural Californian.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
I just know the place had like lots of freeways, and so that's why I was like, I figured it was California.
Yeah, if Russell Crowe had shown up in this movie, been like, "You gotta take the 401 down to La Brea, and then get on the turnpike," would have been great.
I love you talking like you know California freeways.
I know all of the freeways, just like you know all of the wrestling.
All the wrestling, yeah. By the way, this movie was filmed in Louisiana.
Ah,
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So this film, the plot of this movie, just to briefly summarize, it is about a very angry, well, let's just say a psycho, because it's not just a guy who gets angry and has road rage. Let's just knock that out of the way.
They build
right
it up.
now.
He is a full-on psychopath. Yes.
He snaps and is a family annihilator who becomes a spree killer. That's essentially it.
Yeah, well, we learned throughout the course of this movie that he obviously had some issues with his ex-wife.
Yeah.
And he does murder an entire family to start the film off. And then he gets into a little bit of a road rage incident with a young mother and her child. And the rest of the movie is spent with him mostly psychologically, and also physically later, torturing her as she tries to escape his wrath. Hilarity ensues.
Couple times.
Yeah. There's some zingers in this one.
Right off the bat, guys, cold open, we get Russell Crowe just sitting in his car in the dark, breathing heavily, taking his ring off, lighting a match, and just watching that whole thing go up. And I'm like, fucking A, I know exactly what we're in for.
Right. And he's like still like mostly consumed in shadows. So you see like, oh, this has got to be Russell Crowe.
Yeah, or Orson Welles.
It could be Orson Welles. It's a prodigious figure in shadow.
Hitchcock.
I feel like Orson Welles is
Exactly. Thank you.
I feel like Orson was in shadows in a lot of his movies too.
Marlon Brando.
Yeah. Russell Crowe
later on. Yeah.
Russell Crowe only did the movie if they could have a little version of him in the passenger seat.
Right. Yeah.
Little Unhinged.
Little. Oh boy.
So, he's sitting there in his car and he has a gas can in his hand and he's like, I guess he's doing his best Triple H impression because he's got a sledgehammer in the other hand, and he just takes the fucking door down of this beautiful home, and we surmise that he's murdered an entire family.
Well, that's the thing. Like, was this his ex-wife
and
her new fella?
I think so.
Or was it a situation where he already murdered the ex, because they mentioned that he murdered the ex-wife, but is it a situation where he murdered the ex-wife and then killed the family that lived in their old home and burned it to the ground?
I thought it was him murdering. No, because okay, I'll tell you. I think it was him murdering the ex-wife and her new husband, because they make a point of him like with his ring and like taking it off right before. So that's why I thought this was.
Okay, no, that stands to reason.
But he goes in there and it's mostly off screen, but then he walks away and kablamo.
That was like time he kangaroo down.
Goes up in flames. We then cut to an opening video package which talks about so many different things in like nothing really. There's no really like unifying thought here, because they're like, there's dangers on the road, people get distracted, also social media, also modern society kind of sucks, also this, and I'm like, okay, all fine isolated points, but what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah,
what is the thing you're saying?
It's like it's like Faces of Death kind of like for title sequence.
Yeah, I was like, it's a Republican porn montage. Because not only are they talking about all the stuff that Brendan mentioned, but there's also people like assaulting other folks, shooting them, lighting things on fire.
Yeah, there's like kind of like dash cam kind of shit, like boofs, but also just like people going crazy, just just all the the highlights of humanity in the 21st century.
Yeah. It's wild that they're introducing. I understand that it's like road rage, and they're introducing like the idea of like people getting angry on the road and taking it out on others, but like there's
no real point of view behind it. It's you can kind of take it any way you want. Like someone who's, if you're into that shit, you can watch that and just like get a boner.
Right. And also, he doesn't get road rage. He's already a psychopath.
Well, okay, so he does. He does get road rage. He does lash out because of a road incident, which could be classified as road rage, despite the fact that he was already kind of raging. Because, as he said, he's a family annihilator who becomes a spree killer. Mm-hmm. Because not only does he go into this road rage, but the amount of people who go down in his path.
Oh my God!
It made Black Dog look reasonable. With the amount of vehicular manslaughter.
Right. Like all the civilians, all the off
and a few cops.
So
after that opening montage, we meet Rachel, played by again this actress that reminded me a lot of Linda Cardellini. And she's on the phone with her divorce lawyer friend, Andy, played by Jimmi Simpson, who we mentioned is a McPoyle on It's Always Sunny, among many other things.
Yep. Hats off.
Basically, he's telling her, your ex-husband, he wants everything. He's going after the house. He's going after half the shit or more. So she's dealing with some stress right off the bat, and she's not having the greatest time, although she lives in a beautiful house. I will say that.
But that her husband wants to take in the divorce.
Right.
Presumably that's their house.
Yes. So her life is kind of all out of whack. She's a little bit of a mess. Her son Kyle comes in and says, Mom, you still got your pajamas on. We're going to be late. You got a client and I've got school. And no, this is the craziest our day is going to get. And of course we know that is not true. Yeah. He says, I'm going to get another tardy. And when he first said that, it took me a second. And I said, wait, are they just dropping that? Oh, wait, right. That's what it's called when you're late. Okay, never mind.
Good job, Brennan.
Well, I was like 2020. Holy shit. This is 2 years ago. Are we really doing this? This fucking kid is just dropping bombs on me. Okay. So she gets up. She's walking around. We meet another person that lives there named Fred, who I don't know about you guys, but I thought at first glance, I was like, oh, that's her other son.
When I first saw this movie, that was my initial thought as well.
Okay.
There's like a 15-year age gap total between everyone.
Yeah.
It's very odd. Yeah.
But then he's talking to some old lady on the phone and calls her mom. And so I'm like, oh, okay. Must be the brother.
And the mom looks to be much, much older.
Much older. Exactly.
Fred doesn't look to be like 40 or 50,
like 25 at the most.
I think they mentioned he's in his 20s at one point.
I mean early 20s, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I assumed that was grandma until he said mom, and I was like, what?
Yeah, so like did she have him when she was 40, which happens, or more? Yeah. I mean, if she's in a if she's like in a living community, then yeah, she's like over 65 presumably.
Well, we're at Unhinged 2. It's going to be the prequel to just that storyline. Just Fred and his mom.
How she loses her marbles and has to go into it's a different kind of Unhinged.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I would watch that too. If it had the same soundtrack, I would definitely watch it.
Imagine it was just some really sweet, sad movie like Father or something.
And
the whole time underneath, you're just here.
But it's a sequel or prequel to Unhinged with Russell Crowe car murder movie.
I also think if you call
where are my keys? I don't know who I am.
I also think if you called that movie Unhinged, it'd be a little bit more of a tasteless title.
Yeah. He's crazy.
So we meet Fred. Fred is Rachel's brother. He's kind of a lazy layabout. He's staying there while
is what I said.
Yeah, he's a bit of a freeloader. He's living there with his girlfriend Mary, who again I was like, oh, that's her daughter. Nope, that's his girlfriend. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're constantly taking her candy cane scissors.
Yeah. Which
Chekhov's candy cane scissors.
Chekhov's everything, guys. This movie must be based on Russian literature because Chekhov everything. There's so many clues and stuff that comes up later to at ridiculous levels. So yes, so Chekhov's candy cane scissors because she can't find them, and then she's like, "Oh, it's under a pile of your crap." Blah blah blah.
Right.
Cha.
And he's
get out of here, Dennis.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's supposedly starting a business which we never find out what it is.
Oh, Fred, yeah. Well, I'm assuming it's a business to find out, like to a research group to find out why his mom is aging so quickly.
Right, or who his actual parents are.
Right. It's like this 80-year-old woman keeps saying she's my mom, but the math is not adding up.
I never
not adding up at all.
He could be adopted.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like, her and her husband might have been like I always wanted another child. Let's adopt Wilfred. She's always been old. She's always been old.
Guys, in the sequel, we find out Russell Crowe's his dad.
Oh my
yes. God. Oh man, that makes that later scene much more disturbing.
Right?
So, I made it sound like Russell Crowe and Fred are gonna have sex, guys. That's not what happens. Just listen.
Not at all.
So Fred's staying there with Mary. They're not shown as like assholes or anything, but they're just kind of like you said. They're what's the word you used?
I said freeloader.
Freeloader.
But I mean, she is actually clipping coupons to save money.
Yeah.
And it's their being there is just more of an inconvenience while she's going through the divorce. Really.
Yeah. Pretty much.
We pay real close attention to little details like her neighbor Rosie having a minivan, Chekhov's minivan. We also pay attention to Rachel not having a passcode on her phone, Chekhov's phone passcode. I'm not even joking. These all come back.
Yeah, I mean, this film clocks in before credits at 82 minutes, so they waste no time.
I mean, you can make jokes about that, but how many movies have we done where we're like, how the fuck did that happen?
But I don't think you need it for everything.
I mean, this does a pendulum swing way in the other direction.
You know what? Go big or go home.
There's one coming here in a bit that I was like, fuck off.
Right.
We'll get to it.
Right.
So Kyle is in the car. Rachel's driving him to school. They get a call from her ex-husband. They're doing that classic thing where he's like, yeah, I can't go to the ball game, but I got work. I got a new job, and I got to really, I can't really get away from it, and we get a little bit of.
What bothered me about this scene was when Kyle answers the phone. He's like, "Can I talk to Dad? Because it's Dad calling." She's like, "Yeah, honey, go ahead." And he puts it on speakerphone. Fucking rude. What a Kyle.
That is a Kyle move. Yeah. This came out. Yeah. This came out in the Kyle Caren era, right? Right in the verge of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, there is a Kyle that's probably the worst Kyle, but I don't know if he was doing stuff yet.
Not quite yet. No.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. Yeah.
So yeah,
Although probably inspired by this movie.
You could make the argument. He would enjoy this one.
We get some insight into the marital dispute between Richard and
Rachel.
Thank you. The names were so important in this movie.
I think I got everybody's name in this movie.
Well, there's like 5 characters to be fair.
No. I take pride in that, to be fair.
All right, let's see you do it with Be Cool next week.
I also love that's just like that's such lazy naming. Yeah, it's like, okay, her name's Rachel, her ex-husband Rachel, Richard. Fine.
He's a dick.
Yeah.
Rachel then gets a call from her client who's like, hey, you're not here yet. I'm going to be about 15-20 minutes late because there's traffic. Well, you're fired. God damn. She's having a rough day, guys.
Boy, it sucks. Sucks to be her. Sucks to be Rachel.
She's saying, it's the problem is too many cars and too many people. And Kyle's like, yeah, but you also overslept. And I'm like, you're lucky you don't get a backhand right now, kid.
he tells it like it is. This kid, probably takes after his dad,
little bastard.
Well, I mean, technically she does speak to him.
She did. Yeah, they were engaging in a conversation. Yeah.
So Rachel's just kind of getting stuck in traffic. They're arguing about taking the freeway. She takes the freeway. She gets stuck behind someone at the green light and just hammers on that horn. She's not having it. She runs the yellow and goes around him. Uh-oh, she pissed off the wrong person because
it's Alec Jones.
It's Alec Jones.
Sorry,
Alec
Jones.
Jones. Yeah, his brother.
It's Alex Jones.
Yeah.
We do.
The combination of Alec Baldwin and Alex Jones. Yeah.
When I noted it originally, I was like, it's Ted Cruz. But then I'm like, no, he takes action. As in Russell Crowe takes action, not Ted Cruz. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
No, Ted Cruz. If this was Ted Cruz, he'd be like, he would have only
to Mexico.
He would have only killed his ex-wife if like someone told him that she was ugly.
And we would call this movie Cruise Control.
Oh! Ted Cruz in Mission Impossible.
That's a 5-minute movie.
I'm going to try to keep my dignity for 5 minutes.
That is an impossible mission.
Yeah.
I'd love to imagine a character just walks up and says that with like no delivery whatsoever. That is an impossible mission, and then walks away.
End credits.
Starring Neil Breen.
So Rachel, she goes around this guy. She's annoyed with him. He pulls up alongside her though, and of course it's Russell Crowe, and he's like, roll the window down.
And fucking Kyle
rolls the window down.
Yeah, and she's like, don't, Kyle, don't do it.
Exactly. Fuck that. This random guy who sat at the lights is now telling you to roll the window down. Nope. No, thank you.
Not at all.
But he basically tells her like, you should probably apologize. I'm having a bad day. And you got to, and again, Chekhov's courtesy tap. He says, you got to you can at least just give me a courtesy tap of the horn rather than hammering away on it. And he starts getting angry because he wants her to apologize back. And she's like, no, fuck off. Like, go away.
Yeah. Proof that that's not in California, because if it was down, if you courtesy tap someone in LA, like they will road rage the fuck out of you. So,
just a little
even just a courtesy tap, eh?
Just
toot toot.
Yeah, no, that'll say. I mean,
this movie actually helps you, Brandon, on your road to driverdom.
I would think at the very least, I would say I think Russell Crowe, if someone courtesy tapped Russell Crowe in this in this situation, he would still go insane.
Do you think that would happen like anywhere is like in the greater Los Angeles area? Like what if they're out in Anaheim?
Yeah, and you're with your family, you're probably going to Disneyland,
Berkeley? I mean, that place is full of hippies.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no, Berkeley is, yeah.
You might get away with it in Berkeley.
You might get away with it in Berkeley, yeah, not Oakland, definitely not Oakland.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about Ontario, California?
I don't know. I don't know Ontario, California.
That's that's up towards. I think it's up north.
You know,
actually.
Napa Valley. You could do a courtesy tap in Napa Valley.
Well, you're out, but you also run the risk of getting some DUIs out in Napa Valley.
Well, yeah, exactly.
It is wine country.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So anywho, he tells her to next time give a courtesy tap, and she doesn't want to apologize. So he says, "You're about to learn what a bad day really fucking is." Puts on his fucking sunglasses, and I almost stood up and cheered when he did.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. I wish those sunglasses came back.
Oh, he should have been wearing them the whole time.
The whole fucking time. Yeah.
They were so cool.
They were great. It was like he was ready to ride. Yeah.
He does decide to give them a bit of a scare. He drives around and then he gets right in the way of the lights and just sits there sideways before taking off. And Rachel is like, "Whoa, that was scary." Well, thank God that's over.
Right.
We get her asking Kyle. She's like, "Hey, why don't you tell me about that thing you were telling me about earlier? Your Fortnite strategy, Chekhov's Fortnite strategy." I did not expect that one, by the way. But he's like, so his thing is, he says like,
no wasted movement in this movie. No,
it's zero.
His Fortnite strategy is to go to a place that the other person's unfamiliar with. Is that what it is?
The idea was, it's a team effort that him and his uncle Fred had come up with, where they go to a map in Fortnite that they know very well, but they try to draw in people who maybe haven't been on that map a whole lot. One of them serves to confuse or distract the other players, while the other one just kind of snipes people and takes their shit.
Right. Yeah. So again, this comes back later. So
and it's and spoiler, it's a reach. It's a reach. Yeah.
It's really dumb. Rachel soon drops Kyle off at school, and she gets a call from Andy for some pancake therapy. Yes, please. So they're gonna meet at the diner and have a little chat. But first,
Darrow's. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Is that a real place?
Not out here. There's no Darrow's out here. So
But first she needs gas, so she stops at the station, and she turns around and Russell Crowe's sitting directly behind her car in his truck, just staring a fucking hole through her.
Oh boy.
But luckily there is a helpful man in the store that's like, "Listen, I'll walk out with you. So you don't want to call the cops? Okay, cool. I'll walk out with you." And he's not going to do anything if we're both out there, and then I'll get his license plate and it'll be all good and all well.
Yeah. By the way, that guy, they made that guy kind of look like a creep.
He did, right? I thought he was kind of wanting to hit on her a little bit.
The guy in the hoodie, yeah, he kind of, they could have made, it's like, you're kind of, I mean, if like you're in that situation, if you're like a woman in that situation, it's kind of like 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
It's like you might as well cast like Billy Zane in that character's role.
Or like Michael Rooker.
It'd be great if Michael Rooker just showed up to do this small part.
I wouldn't put it past him.
No.
It's it's the tiniest of tiny roles, because he takes her out there. He's getting a good look at the license. She starts taking off. He says, "Hey, listen, bud, like, you need to calm down. It's good that you decided not to follow her. That's a smart move on your part." And Russell Crowe just runs him the fuck over. Boom.
Well, actually, he hits him into an oncoming car.
Oncoming traffic, and then he is just trampled. Yeah.
If you'll pardon the accent. Because it was a Hyundai accent that had hit him.
Oh. I was waiting for you to do like I was like, oh no, what are you gonna do as an accent?
Is he gonna do it right? Is he gonna do full Aussie, or is he gonna do the foghorn leghorn that Russell Crowe's doing through this whole movie?
By the way, it's the first of 2 times in this movie where someone is killed by an accident in traffic, not by Russell Crowe.
The other one is pretty fucking stellar.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, we should at this point point out his accent, because
Russell Crowe's accent.
It's something special. Before we go much further.
Whatever do you mean?
Oh, you mean the I'll say courtesy tap?
I couldn't tell if he was, because sometimes his southern accent's real strong, and sometimes it's barely there, and sometimes it sounds like almost his real accent.
It comes and goes, yeah.
But I will say, infinitely entertaining in this movie.
Oh my God, I couldn't get enough of it.
Yeah, like we watched not that long ago. We talked about Winter's Tale, where Russell Crowe was also doing a crazy accent.
He was trying to be Irish,
Yeah.
Pearly Soames or something.
But in this one, but kind of in that one too, I kind of dug him too. 'Cause he was just being ridiculous. But in this one, he's unhinged, guys. He's unhinged.
Yeah.
So Rachel is the chase is on.
Winter's Tale. That was like right before he put on that he put on all of that nice guys weight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a bit.
That was like that was the last of Svelte Crow.
Yeah, I guess so. It was 2014.
Yeah. Yeah. Boy.
But Rachel is the chase is on. Rachel's driving. She's trying to get another driver's attention, but that person's on their cell phone. What a statement by this movie, guys. People just gotta stop paying attention to their phones while they drive. Am I right?
Do you guys even remember later on? There's like the woman doing her makeup, and they just kill her ass.
Patty actually had a really good joke for that one when we get to it. I've got it noted.
Can't wait. Okay. I won't spoil it.
Okay.
So she quickly finds out that she doesn't have her phone anymore. And she's like, what? We find out that the Russell Crowe has her phone. So that's to say that when she stopped at the gas station and she was in there for about 45 seconds, he got out of his truck, into her car, took her phone, put his phone in there.
She was getting drinks and snacks too, don't forget.
But nobody saw this happening?
Yeah, no one.
You mean her getting drinks and snacks?
No,
seems like something you wouldn't want to shoot.
No, somebody going into her car and getting a phone out and putting another phone in and then going back into their
car and just sitting
while you're
there.
out and about there in the big old smoke.
I think that would be a weird thing to see if you were standing at the counter.
We're too Canadian, Brendan. We're too Canadian.
I don't know.
I do.
Galen, would that be a weird thing to see in California?
It depends. It depends on the day, really. I mean, I think it would be. It would. I mean. It would be a little. It would be curious. Would anyone do anything about it? I don't know.
Well,
yeah, you would think at least. Yeah, they'd be like, oh yeah, you mean the guy who was going through your car? Yeah.
Either way, she has his phone. She finds out, and that he has her phone. So now he's able to track her. She doesn't know how he's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not how he was tracking her. Remember?
Well, no, but this is what we think at first.
Okay.
Is like we think he's tracking her because he's tracking his own phone. We think.
Right. That's what we think. Yeah.
So
I think This is another classic form of psychological torture is to make someone use a flip phone.
What a monster.
Guantanamo Bay. They just gave people flip phones.
Oh,
texting
shit.
T9. Good Lord. She does get away, but we have the next section where I delightfully titled "The International House of Pancakes."
Oh boy.
Strap in,
baby.
Because Jimmi Simpson, aka Andy, aka the divorce lawyer friend of Rachel's, is waiting at Darrow's for her, and Russell Crowe just kind of fucking saunters in and overhears him, call. Well, he has her phone, so he knows that he's calling her, and he says, "Oh, I'm an old friend of Rachel's. Let's talk about random shit for a while." So he gives the name Tom Cooper, which for the record is not his real name. Well, he's credited as the man.
The man. So
yes. I don't think that's supposed to be his name. But
no.
He sits down and he's talking about
they don't even mention his name in the news reports.
No.
I guess because I guess he's been unidentified.
Because they said he killed his wife.
Right.
He had been fired from his job because he'd had some problems. He got injured, but then he was having issues at the job and got fired from it, and then his wife left him and he killed the wife.
Yeah, we never.
I just figured it was Tom Cooper because he says he doesn't say it just in the scene. He says it a couple more times in the movie.
But he does, but he's also only credited as the man. So I think that's just a name.
When else does he use the name Tom Cooper?
He does not look a thing like Eugene Levy. Yes, I am the man.
So anyway, Andy is waiting at Daryl's. Russell Crowe comes in. They're having a conversation. He starts to talk about, because he knows that Rachel is, dealing with her ex-husband, and Russell Crowe is starting to talk about, like, well, what's so bad about him? Surely his worst crime is he can't hold down a job. Is it his problem? We're like, red flag. What's this guy all about? Defending the ex-husband, claiming to be like her best friend,
one of her longtime friends. Yeah, and
then he started on this rant about they were turning frogs gay and that all these false flag operations were happening, and it was like, Jesus.
And then
he tries to sell Andy a whole line of supplements.
Yeah, and then Andy accidentally sends all of the contents of his phone to Rachel,
and he has to pay $49 million to people.
Oh, should be
and then,
more.
Yeah. And then he takes off his shirt and
goes, whoa!
starts beating his chest. Yeah.
I mean, really, Russell Crowe in this movie, he's like, again, family annihilator, spree killer, road rage lunatic.
If he started
or
talking
Alex
about
Jones, which is the worst.
If Russell Crowe started talking about the globalists during this diner conversation, it would have fit right in.
If he had just sprung off on a whole rant about Chads and Britneys.
Oh boy.
Unfortunately, that's not what happens, but he does tell Andy, he's like, I bet you I can get a hold of Rachel because you haven't been able to get a hold of her because she's late for her pancake breakfast.
Yeah. And he's like, will you buy me a cup of coffee if I can get her on the phone? Which is a weird thing to say.
And then he says, and if I can't get her, I'll buy you a cup of coffee. So
and then he's in. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Andy is like,
Andy
well, this
is not creeped out by this at all.
No, this isn't weird anymore. Now it's even.
Yeah. Oh, coffee's in the mix. Okay.
So Russell Crowe calls his own phone, obviously, and of course he gets Rachel on the phone, and they're kind of going back and forth, and he gets Andy on the phone and says, "Yo, I'm here with your friend Tom," and then he gets on the phone, and she clearly knows something is not right because that is not her friend. That is the road rage maniac from earlier. He starts going off on this rant about scumbag divorce lawyers, and we're like, oh, Andy is in trouble. And sure enough, he smashes Andy in the face with his coffee mug and then bangs his head on the table. And I said, oh, okay, maybe he's just going to beat him up. No, he Russell Crowe's him, as Russell Crowe told us earlier in this episode. He takes a butter knife and stabs him in the back of the fucking neck.
Right in the spinal column, right where the brainstem is.
And
oh boy,
in the middle of a busy restaurant in the middle of the day. This is like,
well, I mean, he's already being hunted by the cops for the murder of his ex-wife and her husband and burning down the house.
No, he has a death
down the house.
Yeah. Sorry,
had to.
Yeah. Don't fight it.
Letting the days go by.
So. And of course he gets on the phone. Then Russell Crowe gets on the phone and she's like, put Andy back on. He's like, he can't hear you anymore. And I'm like, oh shit.
Well, the best part is he goes, he can't hear you anymore. And then 2 minutes, and then like 2 lines later, he's like, he's like, well, I can't because he's dead.
Just in case you didn't catch that.
Just in case you didn't get it, yeah.
It's a just in case the audience didn't catch it moment. Like, we all saw you stabbing him.
Went to the bathroom and missed him being killed and being stabbed in the brain. Yeah.
Pinned to the table with this butter knife, and a pool of blood has spread out among the whole table.
How great would it have been?
I was not expecting the amount of gore that we got in this movie when I first plugged it in to watch, because it's a road rage thing, and Russell Crowe, it's probably going to be violent and stuff, but the amount of like just gratuitous blood in this, it's like, okay,
it
all right,
punch, yeah.
I was hoping that in this scene though he just started like murdering everyone in the diner.
I was kind of, but he didn't have a gun.
No, he just starts walking out slowly. And I wrote down, this movie is a real damning indictment of the police and their response time / ability to catch a very obviously guilty person.
And I was at this point where I was imagining, I bet you there are Second Amendment Republicans who watch this movie to rub one out and go, oh, good guy with a gun. If it were me and I had my gun, oh, good guy with a gun. Good guy with a gun. Good, mother.
Speaking of Ted Cruz.
Right.
Oh, hello.
Actually, I would have. That's making a Ted Cruz reference and a Mike Pence reference because I called his wife mother.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's that. See,
Which
I
is
know
not weird,
I know we're Republicans.
Which is not weird at all. Him and Ronald Reagan, very normal thing to do.
He didn't call her mother. He called her
Mommy. Yeah, mommy. Sorry.
Did he say mommy? Yeah.
Mommy. Yeah.
Mommy.
Damn this thing. This is time I could be working, mommy. I don't know why Ronald Reagan sounds like Mr. Burns, but he kind of did. So.
Why was he married to Imhotep?
That sounded like Trump doing a Mr. Burns impression.
I'm very evil.
Mommy.
Excellent, etc.
Etc. Tremendous.
So at this point, Russell Crowe is like on the road again. He just can't wait to get on the road again. Rachel is making music with her friends.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
And he starts reading through her texts and her contacts, and he's like, you know what? If you don't give me someone to kill right now, I'm just going to play Russian roulette with your contacts list.
My God, man.
So the funniest part about this whole thing, though, is she's like, Deborah Haskell.
That's the lady who fired her.
You're right. She actually gives him a name because he threatens to like just pick one at random, or her kid.
Yeah.
But he says, okay, I'm going to her house. So, of course, Rachel calls and she's like, get the cops over there. He's going to come kill her.
The save the cat moment, she does call the cops to help.
The first time the entire time anybody's actually contacted the police. Back at the gas station, when the clerk offered, hey, do you want me to call the cops? The appropriate response in that situation is, yes, I do. Because he is a lunatic and has clearly followed me.
I would hope that clerk called the cops at that point.
I think it's at this point, though, where we learn that Russell Crowe makes it very clear that he's fine about dying by suicide from cops.
Yeah.
So we go back to Rachel's house and we think, oh, that's weird. Why are we going back there? Certainly there's no danger here. And we see Fred conveniently watching the news about Russell Crowe murdering Andy in that diner, which they show footage of, but like blurred out. But I still thought that was weird that they showed footage. Like, I don't know that they would show.
I don't.
Footage.
I've seen the American news coverage.
Yeah, I don't. It seemed even that, especially for daytime news.
Newsmax.
But yeah,
America One News.
He wasn't watching Newsmax.
I'm just saying that it's not a bridge too far.
What was the footage? Was it the footage of the actual murder? Or?
Yeah.
So I guess it was like someone like one of those because there are a few diner people with
were
their
a bunch
phones
of
out.
people.
So
yeah, they were videoing it. Yeah,
they were videoing it for sure. Yeah. So they must have got they hand that over to the news team right away.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, we're so sorry. Oh, but do you have it on your phone? Can we
Yeah, shit. I'm like Jake Gyllenhaal and Nick Nightcrawler. Here you go.
Oh, that's such a good movie.
Yeah, Well, here's $1,000 for your trouble. So it's like, oh, I had this horrible thing. I watched a man die today in a diner, but I got $1,000 for getting it on my phone.
So yay me.
But look at all my views.
So this day turned out pretty good.
Guys, hit the like button and subscribe.
Oh yeah, Hashtag crowed.
So speaking of hashtag crowed, Andy's watching this, and I love how his reaction to the whole thing is like, "Hey babe, isn't that the place with the killer brisket? We're so disconnected from the world, guys. That's what this movie's trying to say." But we learn quickly that Russell Crowe has swindled Rachel, and he actually shows up at her house, and he has beaten the fuck out of Mary.
This was probably the most unsettling.
Yeah,
of the entire movie.
That was a little much more than I expected.
Wow,
because
dude.
Mary she's like bruised and bloodied and beaten, and Fred's got like a big knife and he's ready to take out Russell Crowe, and Russell Crowe's like, Russell Crowe did something I did not expect, and that was take Mary's body and shove her onto the knife, and then just multiple times, like up and down, up and down, up and down, making Fred essentially killing Mary. I mean, it's obviously Russell Crowe that killed her, but it makes it look like Fred is the one stabbing her with the knife.
So fucking brutal.
It's brutal, and I don't understand why he does it. Fred did attempt to buy him off with great weed and $10.
In Louisiana, that can buy you a car.
Right,
he's on hydrocodone the whole time, so he's disconnected, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's true.
Is that what he's popping the whole time?
Yep.
What is that? Is that an antipsychotic or?
I
Gross
believe
psychotic.
it's supposed to be like I think it's supposed to be a mood leveler, but in reality it's just like for him it basically. You remember when Roseanne said she was racist because of Ambien?
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing. Like it kind of makes people lose a little kind of touch with reality, and because he was amped up, he just kept staying out of touch with the reality, and
hydrocodone sales probably dropped after this movie.
Well, on maybe not, like Nathan said, maybe not for Republicans.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, or listeners of Alex Jones.
Right.
You know,
globalists. You gotta pop that hydrocodone face of globalists.
Yeah. Who need raspberry ketones and 10 pounds of lead in their diet.
So Russell Crowe then calls Rachel and basically says, "You've got 3 minutes to go into the school, get your son, and then call me back. I need your son with you, damn it. This kid's getting paid more money. He needs to be in more of this movie." So she goes and gets Kyle. School people obviously think she's insane because she's like, "Give me my kid!" And then she
but she shows him the picture of of the guy on the it matches the guy on the news. I mean, which is all very inconvenient because it's just see right there on the TV. Here's my phone. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because he sent like a selfie of him and Fred.
Yeah.
The phone, wasn't it?
Yeah. Hashtag selfie. Yeah. How many likes will this get?
Now, I have an issue.
Hashtag steal your girl.
Yeah.
I also kind of have an issue with what happens when he douses Fred with the lighter fluid. And because that whole thing's going, because she calls him back when she picks up Kyle, and this is happening at this time. Yeah. But he spends so much time talking to her that a good portion of that lighter fluid would have evaporated. I don't feel that the flamage that we get of this would have been as big as the movie makes it out to be. We're in a real Michael Bay situation here.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Because at first I thought it was like gasoline or like alcohol, but it's like no, it's like just lighter. It's just lighter fluid.
Do you think his urine adds to it?
I mean, it would actually detract from it.
If he was like drinking like Everclear the whole morning, yeah
maybe.
They cut that scene out.
Mary, I got a knife.
My business is going places.
He's stabbing you with the knife.
Keep clipping those coupons.
That's why when he calls that old woman, he thinks it's his mom. He's just fucked on Everclear.
She's traumatized. Yeah.
Mom, you had to give up your place. I don't know why you're calling me. I'm not your mother.
That's why we can't. Because we don't hear the dialogue, the sounds cut out, and if we heard her, it would be like, "Who are you, young man?
You don't look like my Zachary.
My Zachary died 10 years ago."
Are you friends with Judy? So there you go. There's your answer. So yeah, she does call him back with Kyle in the car, and yeah, he's dousing him with lighter fluid.
Oh God.
He's dousing Fred with lighter fluid. Thankfully, a police officer does show up at that point.
Good guy with a gun shows up.
Good guy with a gun.
But let's not. But there's the whole. But we're missing him reading the letter.
Right. He makes Fred write a letter blaming Rachel for all of this.
For everything, you're the worst person I ever met. You're
selfish person.
You're the most selfish and self-entitled person. It's like, wow, yeah. And
unfortunately, Russell Crowe's character did not stop and go, "Is this your place? Oh no, she lets you live here rent free. I'm still gonna make you call her the most selfish, self-centered person ever."
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And the most fucked up part is as he in the middle of it is pushing his face into his girlfriend's body.
Yeah, that was pretty fucked up.
On the bed. That part was, oh my God, that's like some Lars von Trier shit.
So he so the cop shows up. Russell Crowe hilariously lights Fred on fire and shoves him into the cop before getting shot in the shoulder.
They winged a crow.
Winged a
crow. Winged a crow.
Winged a crow.
Winged a crow. Yeah.
And he quickly gets away. The cop is obviously preoccupied with putting this fucking Human Torch out.
Oh boy.
Would have been great if it was Chris Evans, by the way, so he can make.
Oh God.
It's at this point Russell Crowe calls Rachel again, and now he's threatening to kill Kyle. By the way, guys, I just want to set the record straight. Despite pop culture telling us this fact, Kyle's mom in this movie is not a bitch. I just want to make that very clear that Rachel's a good person, I think. Yeah. So she goes all angry mom on his ass.
This Kyle, I would bail out.
Yes, he's a good Kyle. He's in terms of this movie where he's
as good as a Kyle can be, I guess.
I mean,
yeah, I would post bail for this Kyle.
Yeah, I wouldn't post bail for the other Kyle.
Well, no.
But you know who would?
Rick Schroeder.
Ricky Schroeder.
Yep.
Yep.
It was at this point where I was like, now you go to the cops?
Right. Yeah.
Right? Yes.
There were so many times she could have gone to the cops. She could have left the car somewhere and gotten away. Yeah. Yeah. But then you wouldn't have a movie, right?
I suppose.
So he tells her he's gonna kill her son. She's like, motherfucker, basically.
Yeah. She's like, if you come near my son, if you breathe on my son, I'll fucking kill you. And that's a good point because that guy probably hasn't brushed his teeth in a while.
I'll say this, kudos to them for not having her say Mama Bear, because that's a thing that's just so getting old.
Oh yeah, she didn't have like a Halle Berry kidnap moment coming soon, by the way. That movie's fucking great. She does. She gets all angry, mom. Then they discover Kyle is like, well, you know what? We should see if the tablet's in your car, because we can maybe find your phone with the tablet. We could find out where old Russell Crowe is.
Yeah,
and
it's a whole bunch of miss messages. Like first, it's like, well, it's called the cops. Oh, we don't have a phone. Oh, well, we have a tablet. Oh, well, well, I don't know. He took the tablet. Well, that's good because then he could trace us.
Right, but then
it's a whole bunch of mixed messages. So then you find out, that's how he was tracing them, was with the tablet.
Which he taped. Which again, okay, not only did he
take
the phone out
here. Yes,
not
Brendan,
only did he
you make a solid point right here.
Take the phone out, switch it with his phone. He also found the tablet, taped it to the bottom of the seat.
Had time to tape it up to the bottom of the seat.
Was that it? So wait, that was his move?
Yeah,
it had to be. Like, why would she tape the tablet to her own seat?
That's so weird. Yeah, he got in there, man. That was a lot. He got busy. Yeah, there's a man. It looks like there's a man taping something to your seat.
Like, the dipping in and grabbing the phone thing I can buy, but going in, grabbing the tablet, going into the back seat, reaching under the seat, taping it to the bottom of the seat, and nobody being like, that's perfectly fine. Yep.
Also, like, it would have taken him a couple minutes to think of this idea, right? You wouldn't just see the tablet and be like, oh yeah. He probably opened the tablet because she doesn't have a lock. She doesn't have a lock on her phone, remember?
But he's also working under the assumption that there's a Find My Device app on these things.
Well, that's what I mean. So he's either working under that assumption, or he's looking at it and scrolling through, looking for the app, logging in. He's probably yelling over Rachel, what's your password? And okay, thanks. And just so at this point, once they find out that they can actually track him now, they can actually track Russell Crowe, and they see that he's right in front of them driving a minivan. Well, we can only know that minivan belongs to Rosie because we saw it earlier in the movie. Remember Chekhov's minivan?
And why does she
Rosie's minivan? Rosie,
Why does she feel the need to pass him at this point?
I would stay the fuck back.
I would drop back a few car lengths. Yeah, to put the speed down just a little bit.
Yeah, that was what are you gonna gain? What are you gonna gain by getting ahead? That's so dumb.
What do you gain by getting ahead? It's Galen's new autobiography.
You gain nothing by getting ahead.
Yeah, but you lose a lot by getting ahead.
Depends on who's giving it,
I just mean technically you're losing something.
It's a donation, It's usually to a good cause.
Yeah, that's true. Usually. So yeah, they
moving on.
They drive come jokes. They drive in front of Russell Crowe for some reason, and and they alert a cop. They're driving alongside a cop, and they alert him that the guy behind you, that's the guy from the TV. It's the bad guy. And he's like, oh shit.
From the TV.
From the
I
TV.
love that. From the TV.
So
from the news. Trump.
So
what? Yeah.
So the cop is like, oh shit, okay, but he gets like sideswiped by Crowe, and then just gets destroyed by a cement truck.
I was not expecting that death the first time I saw this movie.
That was that was a surprise. That was
that was a moment where all the Republicans cried a little, but everyone else was like, a cab.
Actually, they would. He was a Capitol policeman, so Republicans were fine with it.
Oh, they were happy. Okay, gotcha. I lose the thread. It's like sometimes the FBI is good, sometimes they're bad. You know, you never can know.
Right. You know.
But the vehicular homicides don't stop there.
No, we're just warming up, baby. Yeah, no, this is I think we're coming.
Putting her makeup on.
I think we're coming up to your wife's joke.
And we're watching this. And the lady in this situation is the only sin she is committing is distracted driving.
Monster.
She's putting on her makeup.
Wait, isn't she putting on her makeup while they're stuck in traffic? Like nobody's moving.
No,
so, like,
I think
is it really that bad?
I think they're in they're in traffic, but they zoom in on this. They do like a special on her to show like, okay, we're setting it up. We're setting it up. Yeah.
They plow her into an abutment, just destroying her car and her, because there's no way anybody's surviving that.
No. So it's just a big fuck you.
With, oh, that's what you get. Putting on your face, now you don't have a face.
Pretty good.
Should have taken care of that before you left home.
Score for Patty. Yeah, that's
Jesus. I think that's a bit extreme, don't you, Batman?
Because they make a point. It's like, see, motherfucker, this is what happens. It's like
all the incel villains get paid to in this movie.
Yeah,
because
it's
like
how would she have even avoided that death even if she wasn't distracted?
Right. Because she's sitting there. It's not like she's driving.
No.
So a lot of that stuff happens. Then we get a call back to we get our next Chekhov moment because
the tablet has died at this point.
The tablet dies, but then
can't track them anymore.
But then Rachel gets her next Chekhov moment by saying, "Hey, remember that whole thing about finding a safe place where someone else doesn't know where it is, confusing them because they've never been before, just like your Fortnite strategy."
Boy, this is a reach.
So let's go.
This more just sounded like, how do I talk to a child in language they understand?
Like, I don't think, because Galen, I don't know if you know that. I don't know if you know this.
Lit and YOLO, or live your best life and
live, laugh, love.
Right. Don't get FOMO.
Live, laugh, love. What are you talking to, a middle-aged woman? No, we're talking to little kid. We're talking to young kids.
Don't get FOMO here. Don't get FOMO.
Right, exactly. See, Galen, he gets it.
Yeah.
Eat,
okay, boomer.
Eat, pray.
Okay, boomer.
Eat, pray, sleep. Whoa. Lather, rinse, repeat. Yeah, I know what the kids are saying. Don't worry about it.
I say lather, rinse, repeat to the kids all the time. It doesn't go well.
It sounds to me like you're probably on some sort of list.
That right there is a case of the dog's breakfast, as the children would say.
I say, I invite someone to go make the beast with two backs.
Again, why you're on a list?
Yeah, also
that's really cool. You might say I'm the cat's pajamas, huh? Huh, kids? Huh?
Yep.
Transformers. You guys watch that?
Yeah. Howdy Doody. Yeah. Punch and Judy. You know what? Yeah. Do you want to watch? Kids want to watch the Punch and Judy show? Also, I am on a list.
I have some Beanie and Cecil on VHS.
Also, why you're on a list?
Hey, you know who's never gonna end up being a bad guy? Jimmy Savile. Oh shit.
Oh my.
Oh boy. Yeah.
He was a monster. So anyway, hot take.
Took a bit of a turn this whole thing.
Oh boy.
Just some lady losing her face in traffic, and now all of a sudden we're talking about Jimmy Savile.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, not Jeremy Savile.
No, who's slightly less of a monster.
Slightly less of a monster.
I'll give him that.
Yes.
So they decide to. Okay, this is a crazy part. I laughed so hard because it didn't go the direction I expected, but they said they're going to Grandma's house, and for a second I was like, is Grandma home?
Nope, she lost her home. That's why she was in the assisted living facility.
I know, but as soon as they said Grandma's house, I was like, you're bringing Grandma into this? I was hoping that Russell Crowe shut up and had a fucking fist fight with a grandma.
And just murdered that dementia-riddled lady from the first of the movie.
And then dressed up in her in her nightgown and sat in her bed. Hey, come in, dear.
And then for like 15 minutes, Rachel and Kyle both just like believe that it's her.
Yes. And then
why, Grandma? What bushy beard you have?
And then he eats them, and the cop has to
cut him open and get them out of his stomach. Yeah.
Grandma, what stupid accent you have?
The better to confuse you with.
The more to confuse and befuddle you with, my dear. Oh.
You forgot your courtesy tap, I'll say.
And that's when they know it's him.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, they're driving. This is not what happens in the movie. They're driving around this
maze of spaghetti, I believe, is the way they described it.
Yeah.
Or the way Fred described it, because this was also Chekhov's suburb.
Right. Chekhov's spaghetti maze.
They go through the suburbs, not
spaghetti maze.
Yeah.
I just imagine someone going through a maze made of spaghetti.
Yes. So they go through the spaghetti maze, which was not which actually does not go through into the river and through the woods.
No,
to Grandmother's house.
So I mean that right there is a falsity this movie's trying to foist off on us.
Mm-hmm.
But it is one of my favorite film franchises, the Spaghetti Maze Runner.
Spaghetti Maze Runner, yes. Yeah.
I believe that's the prequel to the Super Mario Brothers.
Mm.
Guys, remember that scene in The Shining where they're just running through that big spaghetti maze?
That was great. That was amazing.
It was weird that it was in the middle of winter.
Well, yeah. Well, it was al dente spaghetti at that point.
This frozen rigatoni maze.
By Michelini's. You guys want the microwave? Yeah. It's super cold in the middle, but real warm on the outsides when you get it.
Mm-hmm. That's the worst.
Boy,
I would say that's a horror movie right there.
That minivan that he stole from Rosie is one rugged minivan, because until she fucking hits it with another car and flips it on its side, it takes 0 damage despite him hitting her and several other things many times.
Yep. Because they make it to Grandmother's house. Like Galen says, they don't go over the meadow and through the woods, but they do make it there through the spaghetti maze. We're through the spaghetti maze
at Grandmother's house. Yeah.
We're through the looking spaghetti now, guys. So they make it there, and Russell Crowe's just kind of chilling, and he's like looking around. He's lost, and like you said, not Linda Cardellini, just rams the side of the van. It flips over, and in a matter of like 35 seconds, he's managed to pull himself out, hide, and then comes up from behind and knocks out Rachel.
He made fast move of that
for a guy who's high on hydrocodone and shot in the shoulder, as well as just been in a car that flipped over 3 times.
Right. No sounds, no grunting. We don't hear of like, oh God,
no heavy breathing or labored breathing as he's trying to rush her.
Yeah, no, he gets out of there lickety split.
Yep. No shit.
No shit, lickety split.
And he takes her down. He punches her in the face, and he's
several times.
Yeah. I'm laughing because like the audacity of the way they shoot this is just so casual, just like a straight shot right to the face.
Yeah, it's like Wicker Man's remake level, like punching women.
It really is. Oh man, Russell Crowe and the Wicker Man would have been fun.
Not the bees.
Yeah.
Not the bees. How to get burned?
But guys, what about Nick Cage in this role?
Oh shit!
I would watch that 100%.
But I will say again, I gotta say it again though, guys. Russell Crowe in this role is very entertaining.
Oh, absolutely, every day. I mean, it's kind of like like there's like now we see like full cage and full crow. It's
Right.
like boy, like what do you want? You know,
Buddy comedy. Let's do it.
Oh boy.
So Kyle is taking up a hiding space in grandmother's. The reason why they were going to grandmother's is because Nana apparently still has an active subscription for her home security system, and they're going to trigger the silent alarm while Kyle runs off and hides in this like cubby hole that is upstairs. And now Russell Crowe thinks that, you know, mom's down for the count. It's time to play hide and seek with Kyle. I'm going to pretend to be a cop. How does Kyle, like, has he heard this guy's voice? I mean, he saw him at the intersection.
Yeah, he would have
conversed with him. How does he not recognize the voice?
Because Russell Crowe comes.
I think it's.
Or how does Russell Crowe? I suppose. How does Russell Crowe not think he's going to recognize the voice?
Yeah, I guess that's the question.
I got the vibe that Russell Crowe was trying to change his voice a little bit.
Yeah, well then he should keep on trying because it did not happen.
I mean, it was still very Southern. Yeah.
See, I thought, okay, so because his accent
Come on out,
like a million,
son.
His
Every time he
changes,
said son, it was like, oh yeah, that's full Crow.
But like his accent changes a million times, so much so to the point where in this scene I'm like, oh, okay, sure, this is a different voice he's doing. Why not? That's what I just assumed, or at least what I thought the movie was telling us.
Yeah.
But either way, he's doing a voice, and Kyle's like starting to buy into it, and then he gets a little bit of a jump scare because Rachel comes to and she starts getting into the cubby.
How?
Don't know.
Yeah.
No
How
idea.
did she get there? How the fuck did she get there?
How to get burned.
How to get burned. Yeah.
But she doesn't make it very far because because as soon as she shows up, Kyle starts screaming, and I'm like, oh great, wonderful, thanks Kyle. Way to just like raise a fucking white flag to Russell Crowe.
Well, he knocked over some stuff in the cubby.
Yeah.
Which alerted the crow to.
Exactly.
Well, I think it was also him screaming too, though. Like he screams quite loud when she shows up. I mean, not that I'm blaming him. I mean, somebody just showed up out of nowhere like an RKO.
Yeah, because
first wrestling reference. Wow.
I think so. Yeah.
First
Holy
one of
shit.
the day. That's restraint.
Except for you saying that you knew Galen knew all the wrestling. Just
True.
Like you knew
Because
all
I
the
do.
freeway.
That's just a fact. He's just stating facts.
I am just stating fact. But Russell Crowe pulls Rachel out of there, and he pulls Kyle out of there. And at one point, he punches Kyle in the face. I was like, God damn it, Russell Crowe.
He's like, he does like the backhand fist.
Yeah, and he takes something, and he's just like, what is it, like a wire or something? And he's just trying to choke Kyle to death.
Yeah, he's basically
like a lamp cord.
Yeah, it's like a cord. He's garroting him. Yeah.
I was actually kind of shocked by this too. This was a level of violence I wasn't expecting. But he tries to choke Kyle to death.
Wait. After we see a guy stabbed in the brain with a butter knife, this was a level of violence. Come on. I mean, no one is safe.
I don't know what getting all the answers with Mr. Hashtag child murder.
No, I'm not saying I was bothered by it. I was just surprised by it.
Okay.
If this had been a trauma film, I'd be like, whatever. But this is like a mainstream Hollywood movie. I was just a little shocked by the choke. I don't know. Choking to me seems like a more visceral thing than just like when he just punched the kid. Like that was like, I was like, oh shit, he punched him. But when he starts like actually like choking him out, I was like, damn.
There you go. So there's your threshold, I guess. Now we know your threshold.
The threshold between pleasure and pain. So he's just trying to choke him out, but then Chekhov's candy cane scissors. Rachel grabs them. She stabs him in the eyeball.
He's like,
and then she says,
"Best line in the movie."
Best line in the movie. Here. Oh, okay. If you know the exact way she says it, go ahead, Galen.
Here's your fucking courtesy tap.
And she pushes in the candy cane through his skull with her foot, and we end with Chekhov's courtesy tap.
Yep. Two Chekhovs
mountains
in a row.
of therapy bills.
Oh yeah. to the point where, okay, after this we find out, by the way, very quickly that Fred is still alive. I said how.
Officer Stanley Tucci shows up. Not saying he's Stanley Tucci, but this guy looked a lot like Stanley Tucci.
Stanley Stucci.
There you go.
I don't know. I think you're I think you're bald profiling there.
Wow, interesting take.
I'm a baldist.
Yeah, they all look the same. I get it.
I'm just saying you stack Vin Diesel and Dean Norris next to each other. I can't tell them apart.
Okay. That's the problem. That's the problem with people like you.
What do you mean, people like me?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Now I'm offending people with hair.
Well, thank you for your service.
Wait, I can say that because I have hair.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to say it.
For the record, for those who can't see me, I also have hair.
It's all right. We should make that very clear.
Yes.
In the show The Mandalorian, you were not wearing a wig.
Nope, that was my real hair. They they paid me and my hair separate wages. Yeah.
Oh, good. Has your hair ever paid you back the money?
No, I mean, I feel it's owed. It's
Okay.
He's earned it. He's earned it at this point. That hair.
Oh, you've gendered your hair. Okay,
I've gendered
cool.
my hair. Yes, it's a he. Yeah.
So anyway, we find out that Fred is still alive. I don't know how. I mean, he was immolated. He's fucking dead.
Yeah. Well, again, that lighter fluid, I don't feel that would have the potency that Russell Crowe thought it was going to have, because I mean, I've even seen it in wrestling matches where they put on a bunch of a lighter fluid on a table, but they take too long getting to the rest of the setup, and all the lighter fluid's already kind of evaporated, and they can't set the table on fire.
Well, isn't it weird too? Like, I don't understand why they insert that last minute moment where they're like, oh, by the way, Fred's alive. Like, I don't get that. Why put that in the movie?
Because he killed Mary, and I think it would be a bit of a test
brutal.
audience downer for like.
It would be brutal if Fred if Fred was dead.
There's also
dead.
Fred.
He dropped dead.
Yes.
But there was a closeness between Kyle and Fred as well, because they have the whole Fortnite strategy.
You need
and
that.
Really
you do need it for
brother
sure,
like bond. So more like Eddie and Chavo, where Eddie was technically his uncle, but they were more like brothers because they were so fairly close in age.
I will say I think it was necessary for Fred to be alive. I think it was clumsily shoehorned in.
It feels like a last minute rewrite.
I feel that it probably was.
Yeah.
Because there's not much left of this movie. There's that and then the last scene.
Yeah, they're like, oh man, this is ending too dark. Let's just bring one of the characters back to life.
Which again, I think good move. I think it could have been done a little more adeptly.
Sure, they could have done that in the scene.
Right.
Or they could have at least shown the cop, calling
him
for ambulance and saying it's on its way, and Fred being like, he killed Mary. Who's gonna clip my coupons now?
And then in the ambulance, they could have shown them doing surgery while getting advice from doctors on Zoom. Yeah, I get it.
Right. Yeah.
Guys, ambulance, watch it.
Yeah, Doctors Without Borders, guys. Yeah, on Zoom.
Ambulance. That's from the movie Ambulance.
Ambulance.
Ambulance. Yeah.
You should watch it. It's crazy.
Yay.
So I mean, I'm just saying they're cleared to go. They just ask them a few questions, and Rachel and her son are good to go. I would not go near another fucking car for a long time. I'm gonna tell you that much.
I also feel that what happens though in this last scene kind of basically dismisses the point of the entire movie.
Oh, right, where they start to drive, a car cuts them off. She goes to honk, decides not to, and Kyle's like, "Good choice, Mom." I'm like, Mary died.
Live in fear for the rest of your life.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's like a terrible message.
Listen to this really soft cover of "Don't Fear the Reaper."
Also a mixed message. Don't fear the Reaper. I think you should. Don't fear you fear an insane man.
And at 82 minutes, with 9 left to go in credits, this movie comes to an end.
Yeah.
A screech, as it were,
and a Zach.
And
so
also it was weird when I just loved at the end after after they confirm that Fred's alive, then the cop just goes like, all right, well, you're free to go. After you've had people in their family die, just like, all right, cool, okay, you're good to go.
We have a few questions about the people out on the freeway there, but you're good.
Yeah, because it's her mom's house. It's like you would think she'd want to be there on site. It's like also what you're gonna
but Mom thinks Eisenhower is still president though.
This is true. they're gonna go. They're gonna go home to like where Fred's fiance was murdered, also to a murder scene.
I mean, eventually, have you seen the housing market? You're not just gonna walk away from that.
I like to imagine that she's just driving him back to school.
Yeah. You still got a few more classes, Kyle. Let's get you back to school.
Education's important.
Right. Yeah. To Music Man rehearsals. That would be. Yeah. That would. They missed out on Chekhov's Music Man.
Oh shit, that would have been great.
Yeah.
It'd be great if the last scene in this movie was him making it just in time for the school play.
That would be that would be great. Yeah. And
and ridiculous.
Yeah. And then the stepdad shows up. The stepdad shows up, and the dad shows up in the audience at the last second. And he's just
Did I miss anything?
Slow clap, and then and then there's and then slow clap in the back is like Russell Crowe with the scissors in his eye, clapping.
I was hoping that he was gonna fucking rise up after he got courtesy.
Just do it,
tap.
do a Michael Myers,
Just fuck it, just do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the movie Unhinged. So I'm going to go around the horn as we usually do here. We'll start with our guest. Galen, was this movie worth a watch? A drunk watch with friends? Would you attempt head trauma to forget it, or would you avoid it like the plague?
Well, you know me, Brendan. I can't. I can never stick to this format, but I've made up some very questionable categories of my own. I would say, given that I've watched this, with COVID symptoms, that's a category unto its own. I would say this is definitely a fantastic drunk watch with friends. I mean, I think alcohol can only enhance the watching of this movie. Because I haven't watched this, in a normal state of mind before, I can't say if it's actually worth a watch, but you should. I'm sure there's a set of circumstances where this movie is a blast. Also, I think this would be a great movie to watch in the treadmill. If you want high adrenaline, this is a great movie for the old treadmill.
You didn't watch this in a normal state of mind, but you did watch it in a New York state of mind.
I did, yes, absolutely. As Billy Joel
I honestly thought Galen was going to say this is a COVID watch with friends, and I was going to be like, that's not how that works. You should not be doing that.
No, I've got COVID. Come on over. Let's watch a movie.
Snuggle up, guys. Get in close.
Well, I mean, if you all have COVID, that's fine.
No, then you get quadruple COVID.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, right.
What about you, Nathan? What do you say?
I'll say this is a drunk watch with friends. I mean, just for the vehicular manslaughter alone, it's just like, what the fuck?
Right.
Yeah.
I would say start with watching 30 minutes of dash cam footage just to kind of get your motor running.
Which is another thing I said.
Dash cam fails 30 minutes. Yeah.
that whole montage was like the Republican fluffer, just so you could get yourself ready for this movie.
I forgot. Yeah, they already give you all of that all of that incredible footage in the beginning.
Here's the thing. I'm kind of veering towards worth a watch in some ways, because this movie is kind of a blast. But I also think you should watch it while drinking alcohol.
I mean, it will only enhance the experience.
But I think you would enjoy just watching it too. So I think I'm gonna go full tilt and say worth a watch. This is actually a movie. This is so much to the point where this is a movie I would almost recommend at the end of the podcast to other people to watch. So yeah.
Oh, if this were what you're watching, bud.
Yeah, no, because I mean, it's now, make no mistake about it, and we talked about it. It is a deeply stupid movie, but
incredibly. But yeah, no,
there's something about it.
I'm bearing the lead here, but I own this movie. I bought it the first time when I was delirious with COVID symptoms, and and that was the gift that kept on giving, because then I watched it again.
I don't know why I bought 7 copies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the poster,
yeah,
and the Yeah, and the scissors. I bought the original scissors they use in the movie.
I love to think they just have a sticker of Russell Crowe's face on them. Wait, did you also buy the
Unhinged merchandise?
Did you also buy did you buy the HD DVD as well?
On HD and Blu-ray? Yeah. I mean, I'm just Blu-ray. I'm just Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I don't I mean, HD is technically better technology, but it's a sinking ship.
All right, well, there you have it. We've all had our say, and now we are going to take a bit of a break, and we will be right back.
What were they thinking?
This episode is brought to you by McDonald's. You know those moments, like when you're knee-deep in a new series and you just can't step away. Or when you're rushing to get ready and your hair needs to be on point. Or like when you're hours away from finals and need one last cram session. Yeah, McDelivery loves all of that. Order your McDonald's faves on Uber Eats, Skip, or DoorDash. Delivery available at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada. See mcdonalds.ca for details.
You'd love to invest on your own, but how? Well, with Questrade, we don't just give you all the tools you need. We also give you tutorials and how-to videos to teach you how to use them. Download the Quest mobile app today and start investing in your RSP.
This episode is brought to you by the Toyota Tundra TRD Pro, the new definition of grit. Grit is more than just mud and dirt and rocks. For the Tundra TRD Pro, grit is unrelenting torque courtesy of an iForce Max hybrid powertrain and the ability to connect with your world through the impressive 14-inch touchscreen. Grit is total confidence to tow just about anything, anywhere.
Beep, beep, we're back.
Yes, we're back.
Hi.
Hi,
later.
Galen, yes.
Hello.
It's time for the low haiku. This is as much of an opposite tone of the movie as we could possibly get. Nathan, why don't you explain to the folks what the low haiku is all about?
Well, the low haiku is 17 perfect syllables to describe the movie we've just been talking about for an hour and some change. That's the low haiku.
Okay. And Galen, as our guest, would you like to begin with your haiku that I understand you've been working on slaving away for the last month and a half? So I'm very excited.
Absolutely. I think those 6 weeks have paid off in full.
Okay.
All right. Raging Southern Crow, flaming brother still loves you. Someone needs a hug. Thank you.
Very good.
Nathan, would you like to grace us with your low haiku?
Yes. Mine is as follows.
Okay.
Road rage, all the rage. Many vehicle murders. Jack Cruz would be proud. Thank you. Appreciate that.
It took quite a turn, yes.
Well, I mean, if you're going to reference Black Dog, this is the movie to do it with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well played.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, my haiku is written from the point of view of Russell Crowe's character. I would imagine if he wrote a haiku. Crow drive a big truck. Crow mad wife is not in life. Crow no throw phone though.
Oh, yes, because he needs it to track. Right. And it was open Crow Magnon, if I may. The way you delivered it. Excellent.
Thank you.
I would have preferred, though, to have figured out the point of view on my own. I think I don't appreciate being spoon-fed.
You're dead to me.
Fuck you.
This is this conversation has quickly become a confrontation.
The phones are really lighting up.
Right, that salty language on NPR
This movie is just rubbing up on us, Yeah.
Rubbing up on us.
It's rubbing up on us like a dog. Yes.
Yes,
oh boy.
This movie is humping our legs.
This movie is humping our leg.
And NPR bot, please take us out. Sorry, I was in traffic. Beep boop bop.
Okay. Well, Good that NPR bot got his license.
I mean, he got here in the nick of time to get us out of there. That was crazy. By the way, nick of time coming soon.
Yeah. Was the bot being chased by Russell Crowe?
Russell Crowe from Virtuosity.
Oh, okay.
Which we learned was a documentary. Was what I got out of that.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did the bot also come out of a cocoon?
No, that was Ron Howard.
Oh, okay.
You're thinking of the film Cocoon, Galen. Jeez, I don't even know if that was directed.
Yeah, but Russell Crowe does come out of a cocoon in Virtuosity.
Oh, does he? It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
Lovely movie.
So we talked about this movie. We talked about our opinions. But Nathan, what do we always say?
Well, we always say,
don't take a word for it.
That's right. That's what we say. We tell you not to take our word for it. Nathan, this is an interesting case with this movie. What do critics say about this movie?
Well, the critics were unimpressed with Unhinged. They 48% out of 202 reviews of the critics
so about
liked
half,
it.
About half, 50-50, yeah.
But the audience, who were apparently much easier pleased, 77%. So this is audience fresh out of 77% of 2,500 plus verified ratings. Now, if you did like this,
I just want to say real quick though, that seems low. Like not the percentage, but the amount of ratings.
Oh, okay.
This was a pandemic era movie though, so I know it didn't do like amazing in theaters, so maybe that's why.
But I mean, it did hit Netflix pretty quickly. After. Yeah. Anyways, if you like this, apparently you'll like a movie called The Endless. I don't know that. I haven't seen it.
Don't know.
71. Okay. Starring Jack O'Connell. It's apparently quite good as well. But
all these ones look good, yeah.
The Sisters Brothers, which is I think Joaquin Phoenix and John C. Reilly.
I've heard good things.
Which is like a Western comedy. I don't know how that's
It Chapter 1.
Sure.
And The Conjuring 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
It's like ectoplasmic Boogaloo, but I mean.
So are they comparing Russell Crowe to the Nun?
Yeah, Russell Crowe is Valak.
Russell Crowe is Pennywise. Guys, you can't tell me you wouldn't watch the shit out of that.
And then Pennywise is like, whoa, I'm not a monster. Well, I'm a monster, but I'm not.
Come on.
I'm not gonna like throw a phone at your head.
Exactly.
Okay, well let's get into these critics reviews here to start us off. I found a very strange one to start. This is from Jocelyn Novak from the Associated Press.
Okay.
And she says, "Follow Crowe on Twitter. Find another film to bring you back to the theater." I didn't know Russell Crowe had Twitter. That's my biggest revelation from this. I need to follow Russell Crowe on Twitter. I can only imagine what he's tweeting about.
Well, yeah, and it's because you're only gonna learn about his films from his Twitter account, not like on IMDb.
Nope, just
or
his
anything
Twitter.
else.
Just signed a contract. That's where he gets to announce them all.
Well, Kip Mooney from the College Movie Review wrote, "Mostly awful, but it somehow peaks into something sublimely awful by the third act. C-."
Oh wow.
Also, I feel bad for Kip Mooney being at that College Review, with that name. He's getting a lot of comments.
Kyle's younger brother.
Oh boy. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna butcher this name, but Sarah Siazik.
I was hoping you were gonna say I'm gonna butcher this name, but Bob Thomas.
Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe wrote his own review. From the Russell Crowe Gazette wrote. K-S-I-A-Z-E-K, but I'm assuming the K is silent. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Sarah Kay of the MacGuffin writes, Had I not been reviewing it, I would have turned it off or walked out of the theater. There is a time and a place for films like Unhinged, but this isn't it.
Oh, wow.
And I'm guessing, yeah, because I guess the film came out, like, I think right during the pandemic. Maybe that's what she was referring to.
Was there like a spate of road rages that were happening?
I don't know. I mean,
maybe just the tone of the angry, aggressive. I don't know.
Unless it came out unless it was like released like right after the riots, maybe.
Yeah. I think it was right around the time of the Daytona 500. I think that's why she was so upset.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm assuming this is someone who's just mad because he shares the same initials as Russell Crowe, and he's the least famous of the RCs. Richard Krause of Richard Krause says,
I wonder how he got that job.
Right? Whose dick did he suck, right? Yeah. As a study of his own dick. As a study of an emasculated man seeking revenge, it brings to mind Falling Down, Michael Douglas's 1993 black comedy, except Unhinged is all darkness and no comedy, and also they're nothing alike.
No real social commentary whatsoever.
And also Michael Douglas there's such a difference there.
Okay, well, Pete Vonderhaar from the Houston Press wrote, "The good news, such as it is that Borte has an eye for swift," that would be the director, has an eye for swift economical violence and vehicular mayhem. Unhinged is a true Hobbesian construct. Nasty, brutish, and short. 2.5 out of 5.
I'm not going to lie, I do like that last line.
Mark Feeney of the Boston Globe says, Russell Crowe's Unhinged character is a pill-popping mouth breather with a sweaty beard and big gut. He combines the cruelty of a bear baiter with the appearance of an actual bear. It's kind of a neat trick, actually, the unbearable bearishness of Russell Crowe. If Disney goes the Jungle Book route again, consider him a lock for Baloo.
Jesus. Just launched into a personal attack on Russell Crowe's
appearance. A bit, yeah. And that's literally how he ends the article.
Wow. Okay, well, this is my last critics one. This is from Edwin Arnaudin from Asheville Movies, out of Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, I wonder if he's filling in for taking up the mantle from Ken.
Maybe. He does say the following, though: the perfect film for 2020, and that's not a compliment.
Oh, well, that sounds like something Ken would say.
C. He gives it a C.
Matthew Bond of the Daily Mail on Sunday from the UK writes, "I think you can see where we're heading for the next very nasty 90 minutes. In a film conspicuous for its complete inability to say anything interesting about mounting anger levels in the modern age. 1 out of 5.
Okay.
You just gave him a British accent because his last name is Bond?
No, because he's actually from the Mail on Sunday, based out of the UK.
Okay.
Come on, Galen, we don't profile here, okay?
Yeah, right. He actually is from the UK.
Okay, good.
Now, as I was saying, you review some Jürgen van der Hoort.
Exactly.
I think that says John Wonder.
John Wonder, yeah. All right. Well, Joey Morona of the Cleveland Plain Dealer says, if there's an underlying message other than don't be rude to other drivers because they might be having a worse day than you, I missed it.
By the way, if Russell Crowe worked for that paper, it would be called the Cleveland Pain Dealer. How good would that be for a nickname for the Miz? Cleveland Pain Dealer, the Miz.
Jesus Christ!
Give me that job, Triple H.
Yeah, I'll call you back.
Sweet, can't wait.
Don't call us. We'll call you.
Oh, well, there we go. Those are the critics' reviews. Now we're gonna move into the loony bin, the swamp of audience review. He did not drain the swamp because it exists on Rotten Tomatoes. It's still here. This one, I'm gonna start us off with somebody named Kaloon J, and Kaloon says, "Outraged can be super scary and bloody violence. This might hunt you in your sleep. Keep a cool head when you having the Ross day. take a deep breath and walk away. 3.5 stars. Truer words were never spoken.
And more confusing words either.
And more typos.
Right. Well, my first audience one comes from Ricky, and I can only assume it's Ricky from the Trailer Park Boys. And he writes, "Keep you on the edge of your seat from beginning to end. 5 stars."
All right.
I can't associate with anyone else because this is from Umbler U.
Okay, Umbler University.
Umbler, yes, he's a graduate of Umbler U. UMMBLURR.
Okay.
Umbler U. Umbler U writes, gives it 1 out of star and writes, I actually fell asleep during this. The vehicles and the mobile phones were well cast. There was a street with some nice trees on it, I think. It was like a telemovie. In other words, absolute shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Umbler University with a hot take.
Oh boy. Yep.
All right, well, this one's from Jeremy W. And Jeremy W. says, May anger issues went all up watching the movie. Rachel absorbs all stupidity and spitted all out common sense within a day. Man's character did not end well. I was expected that he will ended up on prison, but still good movie. 3.5 stars. 2.5 stars.
Okay, well, my next one comes
Speaking
from
spell.
Brian S. Might be Brian Singer, I don't know.
Maybe.
But he's doing a weird flex, I'll tell you that. He's like, it was believable up until the ending sequence. If you've ever had a fight, you know what I mean. 4 out of stars.
Okay.
If you've ever had a fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you ever had a fight, you know what I mean.
If you ever had a fight.
And any fight.
Right.
Yeah.
Verbal or physical, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Or psychological or
right.
metaphysical.
On Twitter, yeah.
Yeah, flame war. Yeah.
A flame war on Twitter. Yeah.
I thought you said a plane war on Twitter. Like, don't have a plane war, guys.
Yeah, spruce it up a bit.
That sounds dangerous.
Oh, that's what you meant.
That's the Asylum's new movie, Plane Wars.
Plane Wars. I'm sure.
Yeah, I thought you were.
I'm sure there's a draft of it. Yeah.
Plain.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Is that where people just fight in the grass?
It's like
on a plane.
It's just kind of average, not really eventful war.
On a plane. Yeah.
On a plane.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Or like I thought it was like a 4-way graph. Yeah.
I thought it was like on the planes.
Oh, yeah.
We got a lot of guys. The moral of the story is plane can be interpreted many ways. Galen, please continue.
Yeah. Noella M gives it 3.5 hours out of stars and says beautifully, Russell is pretty scary.
She's not wrong.
Yeah. No. I mean, yeah, I guess that warrants 3.5 stars.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And I like that she's on a first name basis with him too.
Yes. Yeah, I love Sylvester Russell. Yeah.
There's I just thought of something. I was hearing on another podcast that they were reading Reddit posts of like celebrity sex encounters, and someone had sex with Russell Crowe and said that as they were climaxing, he started smacking his own ass and saying, "Come on, Russell, come on, Russell."
Like he wanted them to come on Russell, or he was
like talking to himself.
On.
He was trying to hype himself up.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Almost like and smacking his own ass.
He was like talking in the third person. Come on, Russell.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, he's talking to himself. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, I gotta pull out. Come on, Russell. Come on, Russell Crowe's penis. Do your thing. Okay.
I just love that that's how he cheers himself on.
I hope so. That sounds wild. I'm glad that took a good turn. I was scared when you said Russell Crowe's sex story.
Yeah.
It
makes me laugh every time. You had to be there or not. Actually, don't be there.
I don't think I had to be there at all.
Yeah.
This one's from an anonymous reviewer, and they give it 3.5 out of stars. A lot of 3.5 out of stars. Surprisingly good B film. Simple original premise. Crow character reminds me of a Maryland driver. LOL.
Okay.
Some local humor for you.
Putting Maryland drivers on blast.
Hell yeah.
Well, my next one comes from a rather strange place. It comes from a reviewer named Unhinged.
Oh,
What?
Yep.
They made an account just to review this movie.
I guess, and
right,
use
or
that
that
as
I
their
guess, or that's
username.
why they watched it, because what are the odds of finding a film that's named after you?
Well, and they went, like I said, they went out of the way to put that as their username. However, the review reads as such: "It's okay, but not as I thought as the main actor was shown." 3 out of stars.
What? Sure.
Okay, I will reread that. "It's okay, but not as I thought as the main actor was shown."
Oh, now I get it.
Yeah, I missed the second when I did the first
No,
one.
it all comes together
Makes
now.
more sense that way.
Yep.
And 3 out of stars. 3 out
Oh
of
yeah, that
stars.
makes sense too. Yeah, the math is correct.
All right, so Stephen C writes, the greatest 1.5 hours ever.
And what did you give it?
5 out of stars.
Oh, okay. I was hoping it was like a 2.5.
Right? Yeah, that'd be great.
This is a weird takeaway from the movie. This is my last audience review. I don't think this is accurate, but Sally J, and I don't think it's Sally Jesse Raphael, but based on this review, but Sally J says, moral of the story, don't be a Caren. If someone apologizes in traffic, don't be such a bitch in return. 0.5 star. Don't think that was the takeaway.
Nope.
I don't think they were saying you better be nice when someone apologizes or else they might murder you.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I think the message the message in this film are all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
My last one is it's a short one. It's from Natalie, Nataly, Natalie. And they write, very good, but also open some eyes. 5 out of stars.
Oh, lovely.
Wow. Open some eyes. All right, Galen, this is the one. Send us to the moon.
To the moon.
Let us play among the stars.
Something, Jupiter and Mars.
Find out what life is like on Jupiter and Mars.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Exactly. MP, right?
Military police.
Member of Parliament.
1.5 out of stars, and says, all in lowercase, based on simple action effects, glorifying violence.
What?
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Made as much sense as some of the other things we read on this one.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, they people really went guns a-blazing on this one. They really put on the thinking caps.
Well, there you go. Those are the reviews for Unhinged, and now we are gonna move on. We're gonna talk about some good stuff, some stuff that some genuinely good stuff. Let's say.
Right. Because this did serve a purpose.
Right. But we're going to talk about it's the dance sensation that's sweeping the nation. It's the What You Watching, Bud. Everybody's talking about it. So Galen, and you're here. So could I now? I know you're dealing with the Cove, but could I trouble you in a live performance of the What You Watching, Bud theme song?
Sure. I'll do kind of a slowed down version.
Please.
What you watching, Bud? I don't know what you're watching, bud. I'll tell you so. Do.
So Galen, would you like to begin by telling us what you've been watching, bud?
Yeah. Let's see. Well, I've been getting into the Paramount Plus miniseries, The Offer, which tells the story of the tumultuous making of The Godfather, and certainly went into it cautiously, given that I'm a sucker for any kind of insider baseball about the movies, things like that. But they actually did quite a good job at this. It's from the writer of the Player, and the one of the director producers is the guy who did Rocket Man. So you have some great credentials going for it, and it's they have a way of like giving you enough Easter eggs to kind of for everyone who's everyone who loves the film and that era of Hollywood. But also, they really put the emotional stakes into it, and there's just some incredible performances. I think Matthew Good as Robert Evans, I think, is worth the price of admission. It's a lot of fun, and again, if you're a glutton for that era of Hollywood history, it's a lot of fun.
All right, The Offer.
The Offer, yeah.
Nathan, what say you? What you watching, bud?
I actually watched a 30 for 30 documentary on Disney Plus on the boxer Tommy the Duke Morrison. He actually played Tommy the Machine Gun, or Tommy Gun from Rocky V. Life did not end up well for this poor chap. After Rocky V, he had a brief up period in his life and his career, winning some titles, but then a positive HIV test later, things just took a drastic nosedive, and unfortunately, he's no longer with us. The documentary is very harrowing and depressing, but also so well done and kind of lovingly too, because they talk with like his mom, who's still alive, and his friends and folks who worked with them. And for just a brief moment, the crazy lady he was married to at the end of his life, and she is bonkers.
Wow.
So it takes you on some roller coaster rides. But yeah, 30 for 30 called Tommy.
So what am I watching, bud?
Yeah, what are you watching, bud?
Yeah.
Well, I just got to tell everybody to brace yourself over the next little while, because there's going to be a lot of horror recommendations, because I'm watching a lot of horror movies. So
taking notes.
You can't wait for October. You can't wait for spooky season.
There's too many movies. I got to start watching them now, Galen. I'm already like 25 deep or something like that.
Wow, look at you, baby.
Which might be more by the time this airs. But I watched a little A24 movie that I had somehow missed when it first came out, and that is the movie Lamb.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of a horror. I would say it's a horror movie, but it's more of like it's very atmospheric and weird more than it is a straight up horror movie. But
it's like it's like a folk horror, I guess you could call it in a very slow burn kind of way.
Yeah, and it's basically it's about a couple who live pretty much in the middle of nowhere at a farm, living a very lonely and isolated life. The woman has previously lost a child, and then this strange entity comes into their barn, and suddenly one of their births a lamb, and not the human. But there's a lamb that's born, and the weird thing is it's a lamb with like the head and one of the hooves, and the rest of it is a human baby. So it's very
perfectly normal.
Very. Now I'm not trying to shame anyone who was born like that out there. You half lamb, half humans. Live your best life. No, but it's a very unsettling image, and it's a very unsettling movie, but it's quite good, and the acting is really good, and it's all in I don't know what language it is. I'm assuming it's in like I think it's in like Icelandic or something, or Swedish or something, but it's in a different language. It's all subtitled. It has Numi
Finnish, maybe, I don't. Yeah.
Numi Rapace. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Rapace.
Okay.
What is it? The dragon tattoo movies.
Yeah, the girl with the dragon tattoo movies.
She's great.
She's great, and the movie is terrific, and it's called Lamb. So find it somewhere and check it out.
Somewhere.
I don't remember where I watched it.
Start looking now.
Start looking now. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. You can rent it for like $3. There you go. So that's what we've been watching. Does Montrose want to come in and do a couple of quick plugs?
Sure, yeah. Just looking in just a sec. He's always hanging around.
Right.
Hello, it's a good friend Montrose Monkington III here, and as I take this time to invite all you folks out there in What Were They Thinking land over to my YouTube channel, Montrose Monkington TV, and then also, if you'd like to be friends, to the Facebook group Montrose Monkington III Esquire and Friends. And then, of course, finally, if you wish to tweet at me on your Twitter devices, you can do so at Montrose III. That's the number 3 RD. Thank you. More later. Yeah.
Thank you, Montrose.
You're welcome.
And Galen, thank you once again for joining
Hello.
us.
Yes.
Yep, the show's just beginning. Here we go.
Oh, hi. Yeah. So we're talking about Unhinged, right? Okay. Well,
So the movie starts
This guy. Oh, this is guys.
That's it.
I got a lot to say about this one.
So Galen, thank you. Thank you very much for coming on once again. Do you have anything you would like to plug?
Pluggy wuggy. Let's see. Well, I can be seen on the season finale of Physical on Apple TV Plus season 2. This most latest season, and you can also see me in a very fun short film on the Film Shortage YouTube channel called What Wilderness Presents. It's a very fun, dark comedy set in the Sequoias, and hilarity ensues.
Oh, very good.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah, check it out.
In a genuine way this time.
Yes, yeah, and yeah,
Okay.
not in an accidentally earnest way. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, well, thank you very much.
You're so welcome.
You can find us everywhere. We're of course on all the podcast apps. We're playing on something right now that you're listening to. So, if you don't like this app, find another one. I don't fucking care. I don't run your life. But of course our home base is Age of Radio.
Big time.
You can go to ageofradio.org/whatweretheythinking. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search for us. We're on there. We're on Twitter and Instagram at WWTT Podcast. Check us out on Patreon, Redbubble, TeePublic, WWTT Podcast. Wherever you decide to go, just search for that. And I think that's about it. So I guess I'll end us by thanking Galen once again for...
You're welcome once again.
For battling through a nasty case of the Cove. And I guess I'll just ask Nathan if he has any questions about Unhinged.
Well, I got some. I mean, with a movie that has an opening credits montage that posits that this is going to be a slow mental undoing of a man.
Mm-hmm.
And in a movie that clearly aspires to be falling down, but without all the subtlety and nuance.
Mm-hmm.
And in a movie where, I'm pretty sure Russell Crowe didn't have to do a whole lot of character research.
Mm-hmm.
And with a movie that, is just, so crazy over the top with the vehicular manslaughter.
Unhinged, you might say.
Yeah, I might. But in a movie where that all happens and the villain isn't killed by some sort of vehicular means whatsoever, I mean, I gotta know.
Mm-hmm.
What were they thinking?
Candy cane scissors, bro.
Here's your courtesy tab.
Hey man,